Hi again, how are you? I'm just going to straighten up because my picture behind me not being straight at the top of the frame drives me mad. I don't know why it ever moves. I never touched it. Hi, how are you? Good evening. What is it? This is that weird time. It's not evening, it's not afternoon, late afternoon. Have you had a good day? Lisa, hi, lovely to see you. Please give me a wave, say hello. Hopefully, the comments were really slow when I did a live this morning, which I hope it's not a sign of things to come, because I need them to work, because I need you to talk to me when we're live next week. Okay, so I've been working on something which I thought, you know what, I'm just going to share here and now. When you are starting a business, you can end up with two problems. Yay, Lisa, we love it. They're working. You can end up with two problems. One is you don't have enough ideas. So you can't think of how you want to present what you want to do. You don't know where to start with getting your ideas going and sort of coming up with a few. You don't know what it is you want to do. You just know you want to do something else, something different. Or the other extreme is that you have got loads of ideas and actually they're just kind of all in a big massive jumble and you don't actually know which one to do. So you end up sort of trying to do a little bit of all of them. Now, those two are the extremes, and actually both of them are pretty tough, because if you haven't got any ideas, then you can sort of end up creating this almost this forcing energy. Hi Poonam, good to see you too. You can almost end up sort of trying to force it so that you've got something to go with and you've got something which you can work on. And when you force something, it rarely feels good, does it? And it possibly won't be right for you. But equally, the other end of it is that if you have got some ideas and then you get another idea and then you think, oh, I could actually adapt that idea and turn it into that, that can be overwhelming as well. And if you've got too many, what you'll find you'll do is you'll work a little bit on that one and a little bit on that and a little bit on, and you'll sort of not move anything forward with constructive force enough to make a difference, because you'll be dabbling across different ideas. Now, these could be even down to, I know what I want to do, I know what I want to offer, I know what I want to sell, but I don't know sort of how to deliver it or how to package it up or how to create it so it's like a really attractive offer for somebody. So there's lots of different elements of that. So I've been working on something which I just thought I would share, which is to help you organise some of those ideas. So when you're in that creativity, rather than trying to just take a guess as to which one's best, there's actually a process you can go through which is quite scientific and methodical to actually work your way through these ideas. And that is that we measure them in three ways. I had to like check I was going to do three. We measure them in three different ways. So we allocate them a score. Okay, so imagine, it's probably best with a blank piece of paper and probably sideways on, which was the landscape. So have a column where you start writing your ideas. Just get them down, just list them out. You know, I could do this, I could do that, I could do this. So for me, it would be things like, well, how am I going to offer my services, my coaching? I could do it one-to-one, I could do it face-to-face, I could do it all online, I could do a mixture of online and when we can face-to-face. I could do courses, I could do total hands-off courses. You know, there's lots of different ways that people offer what I do. So I'd list them all down on that left-hand side. And then the next column is our first. So the first heading of this next column is, are you ready? Benefit. So this is the benefit that that idea will bring to the person that you want to give your service to. So let's say my ideal client is a woman who is looking to set herself up in business. She has a vague idea of what she wants to do, but she needs some help to kind of make it happen and bring it all to life. So I then sit and think, okay, so on a scale of 1 to 5, this idea that I've got, which let's take doing it as a one-to-one as my first example, how much benefit is that going to bring to my ideal client? Is it going to mean that they're going to go, oh my goodness, that's perfect, you solved my problem, I'm just so good to go now, that's me done, brilliant, I'm away, in which case it's a 5, score it out of 5. Or is it going to be one of those where they go, yeah, it was quite useful, but I've still got a lot of work to do, in which case, score it as a 1. so that you've got now a 1 to 5 feel for the benefit. So this is the benefit to them. Column number 2 is enjoyment. So this is your enjoyment. This is how much do you feel excited by the thing, by that idea. So again, let's work it through. If one of your ideas was to stand up on a stage and present to a group of people about what you do, so be a speaker, be a trainer, something of that nature. Now, if you sort of would do it just about, but actually the thought of standing up in front of a load of people scares you, and you know it does for most, let me tell you, then actually that's going to be pretty low, even though what you might have put in the other column for the benefit was that actually this might be the best way for you to deliver your knowledge and share this thing with people. You standing there and like giving them your information could be the best thing for them, but actually for you it scores as a 1 because you're going to pretty much hate it almost entirely. So you've got 2 columns now, both of them with a scoring. The third column is revenue. Now this is revenue for you. Is this going to score high or low in terms of what you're going to be able to charge? So what's the value that you're going to be able to put on this thing? Now again, let's say it's speaking on a stage. If you're able to fill a room full of 50 people and tell all those people at the same time your message, and every person has given you, like, paid for a ticket to come to your event, or you're part of a larger event where you're going to be paid to stand up on stage, actually you might be doing an hour's work and getting paid for that. So actually for the revenue, totally on its own, not considering the other 2, the revenue might actually be quite high, so that you can start to sort of gauge how you can score what you're thinking of doing. Is this making sense? So you've got 3 columns. Let's recap. You put your idea. So I'd like to train people. I'd like to deliver my knowledge through speaking on the stage. What's the benefit to the person that you are looking to work with, your ideal client, the person you want to get your message over? What is the benefit to them? What are they going to receive because of that? So is that a 1 or is it a 5? If it's 5, then literally there's no better way of them getting this. You know, they're going to be sorted. They'll understand it. It'll be amazing. 1 is they're going to learn something, but they're not perhaps going to totally be kind of good to go. And then the enjoyment is the next column. So you've got benefit to them, enjoyment for you. So this is about how much you feel compelled to do the thing that you've written. So speak on a stage. Do you hate it? Do you love it? How's that going to sit with you? And then the final one is revenue. So what will this give you? How much will you benefit from this financially for the amount of time that you've given? Now it could be that doesn't really, it's not highly important to you, that you're doing this because you feel called, you feel compelled, you love to do it, and actually you don't charge much for your services anyway, in which case, well, it's still something that you're going to measure in terms of the benefit it brings. But most of us have still got bills to pay. We've got requirements to receive for what we do. So it's a trade. So what revenue are you going to receive? So once you've scored, so you've gone down your big list of ideas and you've scored them all, add them all up at the end. So then you've got like an overall matrix. So you've said, okay, well, that one there is really high on the benefit, but I'm going to hate doing it, and actually it doesn't bring in the revenue. Well, rather than just ploughing on with this idea that you thought, oh, this is going to be amazing and I really love doing it, you've now got a context around whether or not it's worth your time to do. You could then look down that column and say, okay, so the highest scoring overall was the one that actually is pretty equal across all of them. So there's a high benefit, there's good revenue, and I would really enjoy delivering that. You know, your time is precious, and the more concentrated you can be with what you're going to do, the better the output will be, both for you and for your ideal client that you're going to look to serve, because you're not then flitting between different things. You're concentrating on that one thing, getting that sorted, getting that running nicely, and then you can move on to the next thing. But when you've got all these ideas just swimming around in your head, it's so easy to go from, oh, but that seems really, really good idea, and then now it's morphed into this thing, and I better go off and do that. And is this making sense? Someone please type a comment or a question, whatever you've got. So you can see how this is a great tool just to keep you focused on working on what you know is going to deliver overall a really good balance of both benefit to the client. Because let's be clear, if your offer, if your service, if your knowledge sharing isn't of benefit to your client, you either need to rework your ideal client because you're not hitting the mark with them, or you need to have a think about what it is you're looking to deliver to them. It's making you some genuine input, it's giving you some value because it's working from that perspective. But then also, sorry, I'm really distracted. There's a lady picking up rubbish out on my drive, bless her. I think her wheelie bin's fallen over and it's blowing her rubbish up. She's picking it up. Bonus. I thought she was coming to the door. So you can then channel your efforts into the things that overall are going to give you that really good balance. So you're going to enjoy delivering it, it's going to bring you something in return, and your ideal client is going to benefit from it as well. So, you know, sketch it out, get it onto a piece of paper, start playing with those numbers, and if the number comes out as being totally different than you thought it was going to be, then you probably didn't score it right. You know, you weren't being honest with yourself that, well, I think it'll benefit them, but, you know, I don't think I'll, you know, you've got to rework it. So I'll type this in, I'll type it into the comments with those headings, but I just find it a really good way of getting all those ideas down, and you can shelve it while you work on one and go back to it once you've delivered one and you've developed that one, and then go back to the next one and the next one, next one. You can work through them all. So you're not saying, well, that's it, I'm now only ever going to work on that one. It's just being able to concentrate your efforts on one thing at a time, because it's the biggest mistake I see. People are so keen and so enthusiastic to dive into their business, and they're raring to go, and they get all these ideas flowing, and then they just end up just sort of half trying that and half trying that, and then they get really disheartened when that one doesn't work. But it's because you've not pushed enough at that one, and then ended up getting distracted and going to another one. Hopefully that was helpful for you. Give me a little something, tell me you're there. Let's give you guys a wave who I can see. The comments are working, they're just possibly really slow, but has anyone got any questions on this? I'm going to type them into the comments, type those three headings, but it's benefit, enjoyment, revenue. They are your three. They are your three big factors. Okay, I can't see any questions, but I saw when I did my live this morning and then came off, and I saw loads of comments had been put in, so sorry if you were on this morning and I didn't reference you. I really need this to work next week, which reminds me, let me tell you again. So next week we are doing a 5-day challenge. Oh, I cannot wait. So this is going to be held in here just like this. I will go live at 8 o'clock every night next week, and we're going to cover a different topic, and we're going on a journey. So we're gonna build from day 1 into day 2, into day 3, into day 4, into day 5, and then after day 5 you will have a whole set of tools, a whole set of notes that you have taken with me as we've gone through this. You will have the answers to some of the questions that I will have asked you, and some of the thoughts I'll have asked you to have. You'll have got the answers to some homework. I'm going to actually make you work for this. And you will then really be able to plan your first few months of your business. You'll know with much more clarity what it is. You'll know much more about where your skills lie and how you can use them, so that you can bang, go, you can get going. So if you've not been sure how to start, you've maybe had a bit of a dabble and started, you may even be 6 months, a year in, but it's not going to plan, then this is a great way to stop, reset, have a rethink, and go at it again really, really strong. So that is next week. It's totally free. Now you're in this group, then you can be involved. The replays will stay in. If 8 o'clock doesn't work for you, the replays will be in throughout next week as well. And yeah, I just want us to have fun. I want us to be interactive, create a really nice little group. Last time I did this, it was fabulous, and there was lots of conversation going on. Comments coming up, we'll look at those in a second. So yeah, it's a great opportunity for you just to explore your ideas, and for me to give you the benefit of what I've learned along the way as well. So totally free, be lovely to have you. So say 8 o'clock Monday. The benefit of registering, by the way, if you haven't, is that you'll just get the reminders, and there's like daily summaries that I've got planned to come out to you just in case you miss one, or you're not sure whether or not you want to catch up and you missed it. Then there's daily summary emails, reminders, etc. They go out, so that's a benefit of registering, but otherwise you're in the right place. And the more of you that come on and give me a like and a say hi, the more people in the group then get notified when we do go live as well. So I hope to see you there on Monday. I will see you tomorrow. There is no doubt. I'm going to do a live at least every day at the moment. So, let me look at the comments because they are now coming through. Fabulous. Lisa, brilliant. Thanks for the advice. I've only got one idea just to ensure that I'm putting it in place correctly. Brilliant. One idea is better than nothing, because as I said at the beginning, actually, there's two kind of ends to this, that sometimes the ideas don't come and sometimes you end up with too many. But it's interesting how there's times when you might think you've only got one idea, but then as you start to develop it a little bit more, it sparks off a few more. And it's that point where you can end up going, oh no, that's a better idea, I'm going to go and do that. Or, oh no, that I like the idea of that, I'm going to go and do that. So that's the time when you can start prioritising those and having those thoughts. But brilliant that you've got that idea. Just need to ensure I'm putting it in place. So there you go. Next week's perfect for you. That's what we're going to work through. Absolutely. So we're going to look at real actionable strategies. So some steps that you can take to literally kind of lift and go, right, I'm going to go and do this. I'm going to do some research. I'm going to come up with a plan, and then we'll come back the next day. You'll share with me what you found, and we're going to go into the next one and the next one and the next one. So the homework that I'm going to give you is not because I like to make people do any work. It is because I want you to have a plan for your business. You won't be wasting your time. I absolutely promise. Who else we've got? Hi. Rosanna, can't wait for next week. Fab, looking forward to next week. Great, thanks. Brilliant. So no other questions. Fab. If there are any, please drop them in. If you've got any questions about how to register, what next week involves, then there's more details on the registration page. But literally use this group as a resource. If you've got some questions already, get them in there. Let's start a bit of dialogue going before we even start. But it's been lovely to have you. Thanks ever so much for watching me live, and I will see you all really soon. See you later. Bye.